One did not say no to princes if one could possibly help it. One particularly did not say no to Prince Phelan. Charm laid her pen in the carved rest at the top of her writing stand, smoothing her hands down the flawless fit of her black, burlesquely ornate evening gown. Charm tried to cling to the positive. As long as Phelan remained obsessed with justice, he wasn't seeing some other child. Justice wasn't awake tonight, but he didn't know that yet. Charm knew, and others must have suspected, that a puckered scar on Phelan's temple marked the Emperor's first attempt at mindlock surgery. The surgery had been a resounding failure. All that remained of Phelan's psychic abilities were fits of uncontrolled rage, as famous as his other proclivities. That he lived had been a tragedy second only to the ongoing survival of his eldest brother, Prince Aelius. The lock on his usual room? It was the only room on the second floor that could not be locked from the inside. It works, mistress. Then we'll hope we have no need to depend on it. Send him to the second floor. Send him shame and complimentary supper as my gift to him for his inconvenience. He'll want justice, Pain said softly. Then he shouldn't have scolded her last time. According to the lady's schedule, she needs another week in the growth vat. Yes, mistress. Pain rose and vanished back toward the public front of the house. Charm picked up her pen, breathed, and went back to her ledger. Touch, tally, check. From uptown, the cathedral bells struck twice and went silent. Orchard House closed its doors to incoming customers at 2. In the solarium, Charm breathed in the serenity of the bells and the bones. The night was nearly done. The only traffic in the entry now would be customers going home. She sealed her last note, gathered her correspondence, and stopped in sheer surprise. A woman stood just outside the gates, examining Orchard House. The Lowtowners who worked at Orchard House or came to ask about work came, naturally, to the back door. This was no Lowtown woman. A deep travelling hat buried her face in blackness as absolute as a grave. The satin of her overskirt gleamed palely. She wore a fur stole and muff against the evening's chill. This was a lady of quality. It was impossible that such a lady would be seen below the uptown wall, much less at the gates of Orchard House. And yet, she stood just looking. There was something about the stillness of the woman that raised the hair on the back of Charm's neck. Even as she rose to go investigate, the noble woman turned away, and foggy dark swallowed her. A chill traced Charm's arms. She rubbed them briefly. One of her customers would have a bad night when he got home, probably, and that was neither her problem nor her business. She took her letters to the front hall. Pride, enthroned at the reception desk, stabilized the house. Charm wasn't sure when she'd become aware of pride, but was reasonably sure that pain, justice, desire, pride, and lastly shame had been the chronological order of the ghosts. Even now that all of them had bodies separate from hers, she found pride's serene blindness a comfort. Upright, lovely, with ashen hair and blue eyes that saw nothing, pride's sightless, judging stare reminded each gentleman of how they were to behave when they went upstairs. To break with gentlemanly behaviour, even with the outward trappings of rank discarded, was to be barred from the second floor and to risk being unwelcome altogether. To be unwelcome at Orchard House was to lose the political talk of the card-room, the impeccable dining, and the prestige of being here in the evenings. The only men immune to those rules were the sons of the Emperor.